You're useless. Karen yells, locking 8-year-old Lily, a disabled girl, in her room. Lily's bunny drops as she shakes, her weak heart pounding. Emma's working far away. Will Lily be okay? Karen's mean steps fade, leaving Lily scared. The viewer's heart hurts, hooked on her danger. Before watching full video, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe this channel for more stories. In a cozy apartment filled with colorful drawings and toys, Emma, a kind single mother in her 30s, worked hard to care for her daughter Lily. The small home sat in a neighborhood ruled by a strict HOA, led by Karen, a mean woman in her 50s who loved controlling everyone. Emma worked long hours at a shop, always tired but full of love for Lily, an 8-year-old girl who used a wheelchair and had a weak heart. Lily was sweet, loved drawing and dreamed big, but loud noises scared her easily. That evening, Emma tucked Lily into bed, kissing her forehead. "I'll be back soon, my love," she said softly. Lily smiled, clutching her stuffed bunny, her big eyes shining with trust. Emma's heart ached leaving her, but she had to work. "You're my brave girl, Lily," Emma whispered, locking the door behind her. The camera lingered on Lily's nervous face, hinting something bad was coming. As Emma left, the apartment felt warm but lonely. Lily hummed, drawing a picture of her and Emma under a rainbow. Outside, the neighborhood was quiet, but Karen was watching. She hated Emma for tiny things like a flower pot outside their door and often picked on them. The viewer could feel Emma struggle, working late, worrying about Lily and dealing with Karen's cruelty. Their bond was strong, but Lily's fragile health made every moment apart risky. The cozy apartment, filled with Lily's drawings, showed their love, but the strict HOA's shadow loomed large, setting the stage for trouble. Emma kissed Lily goodbye and left for her evening shift, locking the apartment door carefully. Inside their cozy home, 8-year-old Lily sat at the table, drawing a bright sunflower, humming softly. Her wheelchair was close and her stuffed bunny rested beside her. The apartment felt safe, filled with her colorful drawings. Lily's heart condition made her tire easily, but drawing kept her happy. Alone, she seemed small but content, until heavy footsteps thudded outside. Suddenly, Karen, the mean HOA president, banged on the door. "Open this door. You can't hide from me," she yelled, her voice sharp and angry. She was furious about a tiny flower pot Emma had left outside, claiming it broke HOA rules. The pounding shook the walls, loud and endless. Lily froze, her crayon slipping from her fingers. Her big eyes widened and her small hand touched her chest, feeling her heart race too fast. She wanted to answer but couldn't move, her disability made her feel trapped. For 17 minutes, Karen's banging didn't stop. The clock on the wall ticked slowly, each second stretching Lily's fear. "You're in trouble now," Karen shouted, her words like daggers. Lily's breaths grew shaky. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she hugged her bunny tight, whispering, "Mommy, please come home." Her tiny body trembled and her heart pounded painfully. She was so scared, unable to call for help or escape the noise. The viewer feels Lily's terror deep in their chest. Close-ups show her shaking hands, her wet eyes, and the crayon on the floor, making her seem so helpless. Karen's cruel voice and relentless banging are horrifying, like a monster outside. Lily's soft whimpers cut through the noise, pulling the viewer's heart. Her fear, tied to her fragile health, makes every moment tense. Will Emma come back in time? The scene grips the viewer, desperate for Lily's safety. The relentless banging from Karen had pushed Lily, the 8-year-old girl in a wheelchair, to her limit. For 17 minutes, Karen's cruel shouts about a silly flower pot rule filled the cozy apartment with fear. Lily's heart, already weak from her condition, couldn't take the stress. Her small body shook as she clutched her stuffed bunny, tears streaming down her face. Suddenly her chest tightened. She gasped for air, her eyes wide with panic. Her bunny slipped from her trembling hands, falling to the floor with a soft thud. Lily collapsed, her wheelchair tipping slightly, leaving her crumpled against the table. Karen, unaware of the harm she'd caused, finally stopped pounding and stormed off, leaving an eerie silence. Lily lay there, her breath shallow and uneven. Desperate, she tried to crawl toward the emergency phone on the counter, her arms weak and shaking. Her disability made every inch feel impossible. "I'm sorry, Mommy," she whispered, her voice barely a breath. She thought she'd failed Emma, her kind mother, by not staying strong. Her tiny hand reached out, but the phone was too far. Lily's eyes fluttered and the viewer's heart races, fearing she might not make it. The apartment, once warm with her drawings, now felt cold and terrifying. Emma, exhausted from her shop shift, returned home with a tired smile, expecting to see Lily's new sunflower sketch. She unlocked the door, calling, "Lily, I'm home." But the silence hit her like a wave. Then she saw Lily unconscious on the floor, her bunny beside her. "Lily." "No, baby." Emma screamed, her voice breaking. She dropped her bag and ran to her daughter, falling to her knees. Her hands shook as she touched Lily's pale face, sobbing, "Please stay with me." She grabbed her phone, dialing 911, her words jumbled through tears. "My daughter, she's not breathing right. Hurry." As Emma held Lily close, rocking her gently, guilt flooded her. She'd left her alone to work, and now her brave girl was hurt. The viewer's heart shatters, feeling Emma's panic and Lily's fragility. Sirens wailed outside, and ambulance lights flashed through the window, casting red and blue across the walls. Neighbors peeked out, whispering, clueless about Karen's cruelty. The scene grips the viewer, torn between hope and dread for Lily's life. In the cold, quiet ICU, 8-year-old Lily lay still, hooked to machines that beeped softly. Tubes ran from her tiny arms, and her pale face looked so small against the white hospital pillow. Her stuffed bunny sat by her side, a reminder of the cozy apartment now far away. Emma, her loving mother, sat hunched in a chair, her eyes red from crying. She held Lily's hand gently, whispering, "I should have stayed home. I failed you, my baby." Guilt choked her. She'd left Lily alone to work her shop shift, thinking her brave girl would be safe. Now her daughter was fighting to live because of her choice. The viewer's heart aches, seeing Emma's pain as she blames herself for everything. The doctor, a kind man with tired eyes, approached. "Lily had a heart attack from extreme stress," he said softly. "Her condition made her heart weak, but she's stable now." Emma nodded, barely hearing him, her mind stuck on stress. What could have scared Lily so much? She kissed Lily's forehead, tears falling on the blanket. The hospital room felt heavy, like it held all of Emma's fears. The viewer feels her sorrow, wanting to reach out and comfort her, while worrying for Lily's fragile life. Then Mrs. Sarah, a gentle neighbor, slipped into the room. Her face was nervous as she leaned close. "Emma," she whispered, "I heard Karen banging on your door last night. She yelled for 17 minutes straight about that flower pot. I couldn't stop her." Emma froze, her breath catching. Karen, the cruel HOA president, had tormented Lily for 17 minutes? The truth hit like a slap. Shock turned to fire in Emma's chest. Karen's endless pounding had terrified Lily, triggering her heart attack. Emma's hands clenched, her tears drying as anger grew. She looked at Lily, so small and helpless, and wiped her face. "I'll make this right," she promised, her voice steady now. The viewer feels Emma's grief shift to strength, a mother ready to fight. They hate Karen, her meanness clear as the cause of Lily's pain. The hospital's sterile light fades, but Emma's resolve shines, pulling the viewer in, desperate for justice against Karen's cruelty. Emma's heart pounded as she walked into the HOA meeting room, her hands sweaty but her mind clear. She hadn't slept, haunted by Lily lying in the ICU after her heart attack. Knowing Karen's 17-minute door pounding caused it fueled Emma's resolve. The room buzzed with neighbors, some curious, others nervous. Karen sat at the front, her arms crossed, looking smug as always. Emma stood tall, though fear gnawed at her. She wasn't just fighting for Lily, she was fighting for every moment of peace stolen by Karen's cruelty. The viewer senses her determination, holding their breath for what's next. Karen spotted Emma and sneered. "What's this about? Your sick kid's not my problem," she said loudly, laughing as if Lily's pain was a joke. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Some neighbors looked down, unsure who to believe. Emma's throat tightened, but she refused to back down. "You hurt my daughter," she said, her voice shaking but firm. Karen rolled her eyes, dismissing her. The room felt tense, like it could tip either way. The viewer's anger at Karen grows, urging Emma to keep going. Then Emma pulled out Mrs. Sarah's phone, her hand steady. "Listen," she said, pressing play. A muffled but sharp recording filled the air, Karen's voice yelling, "Open this door. You'll pay for this." The banging echoed, relentless, for what felt like forever. The neighbors froze, faces paling as the 17-minute rant played on. Karen's smirk vanished, her eyes darting nervously. When the audio stopped, silence hung heavy. Emma held up one of Lily's drawings, a bright sunflower, her voice breaking. "This is what you almost took from me." The room erupted. Mr. James, an older neighbor, stood. "Karen's bullied us all, fining us, threatening us." Others nodded, sharing stories of her meanness. A young mother added, "She scared my kids too." The crowd's whispers turned to shouts, demanding change. Hands shot up in a vote, and one by one, They chose to remove Karen as HOA president. Karen stammered, red-faced, but no one listened. She stormed out, defeated. Emma clutched Lily's drawing tighter, tears in her eyes but a small smile forming. The viewer cheers, their hearts swelling with her courage. Karen's fall feels like justice, a win for every neighbor she hurt. Emma's strength, powered by love for Lily, leaves the viewer emotional, proud, and ready for healing. In the hospital room, sunlight slipped through the blinds, falling on Lily's face. The 8-year-old opened her eyes, weak but alive after her heart attack. Her small hand reached for Emma, who sat by her side, barely sleeping for days. "Mommy, you're my hero," Lily whispered, her voice soft but clear. Emma's heart leapt and happy tears spilled down her cheeks. She hugged Lily gently, careful of the tube still attached. "I'm never leaving you again," she promised, deciding right then to cut her shop hours. The viewer feels a warm glow, relieved to see Lily's smile and Emma's love shining through. Back home, the neighborhood had changed. The neighbors, inspired by Emma's courage at the HOA meeting, rallied together. They voted Mrs. Sarah, the kind woman who'd recorded Karen's cruelty, as the new HOA president. Sarah stood in the community hall, her voice steady. "No more bullying, only fairness," she said. Everyone clapped, ready for a fresh start. To cheer Lily, they dug a small garden outside her window, planting sunflowers and daisies, her favorites. When Lily saw the blooms from her hospital bed, brought home days later, her eyes sparkled. She giggled, pointing at each flower, and the viewer's heart lifts, seeing her joy return. Karen, meanwhile, faced her reckoning. No one spoke to her anymore. Neighbors turned away when she passed, her power gone. Grumbling about ungrateful people, she packed her bags and left the neighborhood for good. The viewer nods, satisfied, knowing her meanness caught up with her. Justice felt right, clean and final. One bright morning, Emma pushed Lily's wheelchair through the new garden. The air smelled of flowers and Lily's laughter rang out, pure and free. In her lap, she held a new drawing, of her and Emma under a big, colorful sky. "We're unstoppable, aren't we?" Emma said, grinning. Lily nodded, her smile wide. The camera lifted, showing the garden, then a clear blue sky, bursting with hope. The viewer feels warm, their heart full. Love had won, justice was served, and Emma and Lily's bond glowed brighter than ever, leaving everyone emotional but uplifted.